Hello, 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 hello. So I'm drinking from one of my Camp NaNoWriMo mugs, and it says cultivate your imagination. One of the things I've been thinking about is cultivating my creative life, cultivating my life in general. And by cultivating, kind of like when you plant a garden. Before you plant the garden, you have to plan out where you're going to put what, because some things don't do well together. You need to address soil issues. You need to find a good spot to put it, because some things grow better with a lot of sunlight, some things grow better without a lot of sunlight. And I have to think about those little creatures, the furry little creatures that are all over our backyard every time I turn around. Little rabbits and gophers and deer and all kinds of things. As I endeavor to cultivate my life for 2019, a lot of that's going to be all about following my inner compass. A lot of it's also going to be about the depth year. Yes, going deeper, not wider. So if you haven't already heard of the depth year, this guy wrote a post. It's on Raptitude. I will leave the link below. It's about going deeper instead of wider. And what he says is that you drill down for value and enrichment instead of fanning out. It's all about delving into what you already have, to projects you've already started, but maybe you haven't had as much follow through with it as you'd want. Things you put aside, hobbies you started and then stopped, books you started reading and didn't finish, books that you have not read, your favorites that you maybe want to reread, projects and things like that. So what he says is it's a year where you don't start any new projects, hobbies, etc. Instead, you find the value in what you already own or have started. So you improve your skills rather than learn new ones. So you read or reread books. And I have a lot of books that I haven't read. A lot of books that I started reading, especially self-help kind of books that I haven't finished reading. Some books that are on my to-be read list that I just have not gotten to. Some of what I'm going to be focusing on as far as cultivating my life are self-care and health and fitness. This minimalism challenge, it's a 30-day game where the first day of the 30 days you get rid of one item. The second day you get rid of 2 items. So I'm going to get a big box. I've got a box in the purple room, and I'm going to put all the things from this room in that box. I need to go through some of my other things. I'm going to be doing that 30-day challenge. I'm going to start that December the 1st. Once I can get rid of some of the things, while I'm getting things out, I'm going to be cleaning and organizing. As many of you know, I've already started talking about what I want for Christmas is new bookshelves. We're going to rearrange this room some. That desk that's behind me, right there, it's going to be up here, so I have more room, and I want a more open space in here. This is a small room, and I love my big red desk, but I really don't have room for it. So self-care, health and fitness, cleaning and organizing and purging, the minimalism game challenge. Be more intentional, more deliberate in my purchases. So I am not going to be spending any money on anything that is not a necessity. And I say that as I have happy mail to open. Whatever I purchase is pretty much it. I will be replacing supplies. I will be, if I have to, replace supplies so I can make another notebook, or so that I can buy a notebook. I don't know if I'm going to be making any more of my notebooks, so that I can replace ink, replace watercolor as it gets ready to run out, and I will be replacing it with tubes. I will not be buying any actual new colors of watercolor this coming year, I don't think. I need to commit to this, so let's just say I'm not, because I have a lot to be deliberate about the books that I get. So that means used books, Kindle, unless it's part of a collection that I already own, like my Stephen King books, because I do collect those. And I won't be buying any more paperback books unless it's necessary. And so anyway, and I'm gonna try to get those used. So I'm gonna open up my mail. This is for my self-care. It's part of the reason why I did this. So I got this from one of the buy-sell trade groups, and she even included the Chic Sparrow bag. This will be my second Chic Sparrow. And look at this beauty. It is a weeks holder. And isn't that gorgeous? It matches my pen. I have some little colored stars, and I'm going to go to Dollar Tree and get some more like gold stars, the kind that you put for kids. And that's I've got smiley faces and some little stars, and that's the kind of stuff that I'm going to be putting in here. So for this week I need to write down some stuff because I've got it on post-it note. So let's see how this looks. Okay. Okay, well the cover has to come off of here too. So this is the one where it says I'm a work in progress. And I have some self-care stuff in here. This is what I was using, and I'm going to do more self-care journaling, more morning pages kind of stuff. And that's what that looks like. So let's put the covers up. Alright, it won't fit in the cover, and it doesn't fit. It's not quite slim enough. So maybe I'll cut it down. I don't know, I have another one of these, so maybe I'll cut that one down. I am seriously thinking about doing ink stains on this. Okay, I'm like super excited about it. It's gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, I have no idea of where I was before David interrupted and before my mom called and everything. So I decided not to put the Snoofy on there. I have the Be Brave on here, and I just have the weeks in here. And what I decided to do, I think I have something I will put right here. I may not put anything right there because I don't know, I haven't made up my mind. If David can solder the small compass back to the little hoop thing, then I may put that right there. I would like to get another little compass if he can't, but I'm not, no, not. So I'm okay with this. Just, I'm so excited. I love the idea of being able to keep up with self-care and stuff like that, like this. I can journal about, I can do my morning pages, journaling, and keep up with things here like this. So yeah, I'm super excited. Okay, but that's not what this video is supposed to be about. And I have a shit ton of editing to do now. Like I was talking about, cultivating my creative life, cultivating my life. There comes a point and a time, I think, where we have to say, stop. I like the red and the blue together, too. Putting this one aside for, I don't know. I'm thinking. See, now I'm distracted, so let me just stop. I need a minute. So I was extremely distracted, and I got distracted by all the pretties. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing a depth year. And I thought I'd talk about the depth year. Jessica the Story Witch did a video recently about the depth year. Jessica does her own thing. She truly has made her bullet journal her own. She puts collage bits and stuff inside her bullet journal, and she made me want to be more creative. I used to put bits and pieces from other things inside my bullet journal. And although this coming year I'm actually going to be doing bullet journaling in a Hobonichi, my bullet journal will be collections. It's going to be split up into a couple of notebooks. And before I get into what I'm doing I want to talk about why I'm doing the depth year, because I think it's really important. At least for me, it is. The depth year for me is about going deeper into the things that you already own, the things you've already started but you haven't finished, projects you started and you didn't finish, projects you maybe gathered things to start and you didn't even get to, books you bought and haven't read, or books that you bought and have not finished reading, traveler's notebooks you bought and haven't used. Self-care is one of my big things. Self-care and health and fitness. I, over this past year, have gained weight, and I need to lose that weight. It's not healthy. Part of it's menopause, part of it's not being able to exercise the way I really wanted to, thanks to fibromyalgia and arthritis and tendonitis, and the crap weather we've had. We've had a ton of rain, and I don't do well. My body does not like the rain. I do. I love to write when it's raining. I love to nap when it's raining. I love to read when it's raining. I've even taken a walk when it's raining, when it's not really bad. I'll take my umbrella and go for a walk. But my body, however, the older I get, the worse it gets with the arthritis and the fibro and stuff. A body in motion stays in motion. And instead of making excuses, I want to really concentrate. I can do stretches and walking and things like that. So for the last few months, I've been wearing a Fitbit. The last few weeks, the last few weeks, I've been wearing a Fitbit to see what my average steps are without adding a whole bunch of steps to it. And there are some days when I have done 5,000 or 6,000 steps. Most of the time, though, it's been 2 to say 4,000. On a really low day, 1,000. That's how I know, and I've sort of been keeping track of it. I do have the steps to enter into the Hobonichi weeks for this past week. It's in my Fitbit. I was looking at it last night, but I didn't have this. I was in the living room, and David and I were watching a bit of TV. We were talking and watching a little bit of TV before bed, and I realized, well, I could have came back here and got this, and then went back in the living room and wrote it down. But one of the things I'm also doing is being more present in the moment, being more mindful, spending more quality time with my loved ones, being there with them face to face instead of with a phone or a tablet or a laptop, or being back here. And yesterday was my day for Victor, so I get Victor usually on Wednesdays and Fridays. Now Monday I have to go do some stuff with my mom, but one of the big things for me has been taking time for me, and at the same time making sure that I get what I'm supposed to be doing done in a timely manner, and that means getting better at what I'm doing so that when I'm editing videos, it's better. When I'm producing videos, when I'm filming a video, it's better. I don't like scripted videos, but I do sometimes write down some bullet points. This time I decided not to, because I know pretty much what I want to talk about, so if I ramble a little, I'm sorry. I don't have the bullets in front of me. All that's in front of me right now is my cup of coffee. I stopped the video. There was some more footage after that. Patreon got to see that. But I stopped the video here, where I stopped it when I was looking at the pretties, on purpose. These are things, and although they're really nice things, and, leather, it smells delicious, it's gorgeous, and I have all these beautiful colors, and you can't really see them right now. Hold on. I'll move the microphone. I have this gorgeous, it's a dark blue and sort of a plum. I have the Imperfectly Perfect folio. I have my Janelli fish. This is the first one. This is my Writer's Bible. It is gorgeous. It is all these blues and purples and reds. As you can tell, what I like. The new week's cover, which is So gorgeous. This is David's favorite color, and it matches my pen that he got me for Christmas last year. My Hobonichi cover that Maya gave me, that is this gorgeous dark red. This absolutely gorgeous teal turquoise color with all the ink splashes and coffee rings. This, which is a leather quill shop, it's a Picos, which is not available anymore, but it's this really gorgeous dark brown that to me looks almost like mahogany or cherry wood. It has a red undertone and it's gorgeous, and the more you mess with it and roll it, the better it is. I have this in 8.5 too, and I have it in a B6 Slim. I have, which is my English version of the Hobonichi, and this cover, this is this year's right here. That's just a plain black cover, and what I did was I did a watercolor of Snoopy, Starry Night. This is a Rowena's Sojourner Folio in the Yale color. It's a B6, and my notebook that I made myself is in here. There's the Fitbit. I started it November 2nd. That's when I got it. And then this is a Tarocco Design Enigma leather cover. He sent me this. It is, I think, one of the only red ones. And this is my Omni Journal. And I love this. I love this. Now I have a few other ones. I have a B6 Janelli fish, a trifold and a bifold. I have some other. I have a Justine King. But what I don't want to get into is what I have. I've been thinking about what I would like and my wish list and what is a want versus a need. My wish list contains a red with the ink stains from Chic Sparrow and the Carrie Harlan's Violet, and I would like one in A5 and one in B6. And you know, it doesn't really matter which is which because I love them all. I like various sizes. My favorite sizes are A5, B6, and A6. A6 is such a great size to throw in your purse. And I have a couple of different things. And when I was thinking about my wish list and what I wanted and where I've spent my money this year and where I wanted to spend my money, I need to get a new, some kind of laptop that I can actually edit videos on. David got me a really cute little HP red laptop, but it doesn't have enough oomph in it to edit videos. It's perfect for writing. I can go on the internet with it. I mean, it's got a little bit of, you know, but it's slow. And I don't think it has enough oomph, really, to edit videos. David didn't realize, but we got to talking about it after we realized. And he was like, "What? I can return it." And I was like, "No, I need something. I would rather have that for writing. You've already spent the money on it. I don't know if you can even return it. It's perfect for writing because I can go on and check my email. I can do a little bit of stuff. But my goal is for this coming year to take some classes. I want to take Liz Steele's foundations class and her watercolor class. I want to take one of the writing master classes. I want to do a few other things. And I also want to get, at the end of the year, a Microsoft Surface Pro 6. By then, hopefully they'll be down some in price, and I want to get a really good one. I need something so that I can take my tower, which we had built, somewhere and get some work done on it, because right now it's the only thing that I have to edit videos with. The moment that I put Adobe Premiere Elements on that little laptop that David got me, it's going to slow it down even more. And I'm not sure that once I put that on there, I'll be able to edit videos, because I don't know if it'll have enough oomph to do that. It's already slow without doing that. And as I was thinking about where I've spent my money, some of my money has been spent on things that are nice, yes, and that are pretties, fancies, pens, traveler's notebooks, and Hobonichis, and notebooks and watercolor, oh my. I just saw a video of a review of Daniel Smith's new little, the Ultimate Mixing Palettes, actually Daniel Smith, and they're half pans, and she was saying it was about $100, and I was like, oh, and then I'm like, I already have the majority. I think I have all of those colors. I don't need it, but that doesn't stop me from wanting it. It doesn't stop me from wanting other things either. And being enabled and enabling others, it's a bit fun, but at the same time, we really have to stop and think, what are we doing? At least for me, I've had to stop and think and go, wait a minute, and pause. And I've done that a few times this year. This year, I was more frugal with certain things and less frugal about other things. I don't want to spend any money on anything next year that is really not a necessity. Are there things I want? Oh yeah, I want that Superior Labor pen pouch thing in black leather, because they don't have red, but in black leather, so bad, so bad. I want that peg and all thing that you put all your gadgets and pins and, you know, things in black. I want the Pilot Vanishing Point. See, I have the blue one. This is David's favorite color, the dark blue. I want it in red. I want it in red. I really want it in red. So what I've decided to do, because there are some things that would make really good reward things, and if I don't spend my money in places where I don't need to spend my money, there are things that aren't necessities, like replacing my ink is a necessity. If I am about to run out of a certain color watercolor, and it's one I've used that much that I'm actually running out of, then that's a color I use a lot. And instead of buying a little pan, I'm going to be buying tubes, because it's more economical to do the tubes. I used to do that, and then I would only buy half pans for colors that I wanted to try. I started out with the core tube set, that little, I think it's a 10 set of Daniel Smith tubes, and then I got a few half pans from Cat's Corner and a couple of other places, mostly from Cat's Corner on Etsy, and to try, or for mixing, for colors that I knew I'd use but wouldn't use all the time. I thought it'd be a little bit more economical to try it rather than spend quite a bit of money on a whole tube of it. But if it's a color I'm going to use all the time, I need to just get the tube. It costs less money in the long run. Thinking about all of the things, there are some nice things to reward yourself with. If I make a major goal, some of those major goals are to do 52 blog posts next year, so that's one a week. To do 52 posts on Instagram next year, that's one a week. That's a pretty high goal for me, considering I sometimes will go like weeks and not post on Instagram. I need to get better about it. I posted some today. It's December 1st. I also want to take an artist date every other week. And I've done spreads so that I can kind of keep up with those. And I'm going to reward myself when I get to the halfway point. When I get to the halfway point, I will reward myself with something little. Maybe it'll be a book from Thrift Books, or a book, or something little. And then when I get to the big goal, I can reward myself. So at the end of the year, I will have saved money. I can maybe get myself that Pilot Vanishing Point, the Decimo, maybe even. Maybe I'll be able to get another Traveler's Notebook, especially if I can find it from one of the buy-sell trade groups. So there are some things I could reward myself with. Now, some of those things would be great Christmas gifts, but I don't want to start any new projects. So what I've decided to do is we are going to be purging and cleaning the room. So anyway, what I've been thinking about with this depth year are some of the things that have been challenges for me, and concentrating on some of the smaller things and some of the bigger things, and making it this year a more simple, instead of spreading myself so thin, which is what I usually tend to do. I usually have a lot of things I want to do, and then I get involved in things, and I start these projects, and I don't finish them. So right now I have some Snoopy postcards I still have not done and still need to send out. I have some I've done, still need to send out. have yet to get the P.O. box, which I really want to do, and it doesn't cost a ton of money. So that's one of the goals. Like I said, there are a lot of things I would really like to do because I've already started some of these things. And the depth year for me is about cultivating my life and my creative life and making things work better for myself so that I can truly work smarter, not harder, so that I can be more creative and at the same time spend more quality time with my family so that I can get out of my comfort zone and go out more, get out of the house more, go on an artist date, go visit family, go visit friends. I really need to do that more and get out more and go walking, maybe walk some trails when the weather's nice, maybe do a bit of light hiking, have some fun, get out and go urban sketching, do some things that I've already started doing but haven't really made it a real practice yet. And I think now is a really good time to do that. These notebooks, these leather, these, as pretty as they are not necessary. The notebooks, it's the notebook that's necessary. This makes it a bit fancier. I remember when I very first started buying notebooks and journals that weren't just like composition notebooks, that weren't just really cheap little notebooks. I got one from, I want to say back then it was Books A Million or Walden Books, and I got this beautiful leather bound journal, and it had lined paper in it, and I loved it. It was gorgeous, and it made me feel special when I wrote in it. It was a different kind of feeling than writing in the composition notebooks. But in the beginning, I was nervous about writing in it. I was scared I'd mess it up. It felt special. And every time I get a notebook now, I know that feeling. I still love a gorgeous leather-bound notebook, whether it's a refillable leather notebook or not. One of the things that I've noticed is that I'm no longer as precious about them. They still feel really special. I mean, come on. Let's face it. When you open this up, it is gorgeous and, oh my goodness, it smells delicious. I love the smell of leather. And for you vegans out there, I'm so sorry, but to each his own. And they are beautiful. They are beautiful. They're gorgeous. But that's not what makes or breaks my journaling. It just gives me added incentive to want to pick up the journal and get excited about it and journal in it, the notebook that's in it. Rather than get even more down the rabbit hole of traveler's notebooks and folios. And believe me, I feel the temptation to get another folio from Rowena. The Sojourner Leather, she's got a Christmas red, y'all. It's a prettier, this is a more of a muted red. Her Christmas red is more of like this bright red. And I've seen pictures of them, and they're gorgeous, and I want one so bad. Red and purple are my colors, but red specifically, red is like my signature color. It's like Courtney's pink, and it's like a lot of people when they think of Allie Brown, they think of Lovey. When you think of Carrie Harling, I still think of Carrie Harling's violet color, or the Mr. Darcy. Every time I see one of those thick, chunky Believe notebooks, I will always think about Romany. I have been slowly but surely kind of color coordinating what I do. And red for me is usually my regular stuff. The purple is my spiritual stuff. I'm doing the blues as my personal stuff. Self-care, health and fitness. Now this turquoise color, it is the notes, ideas, commonplace. Right now it has my bullet journal in it, but it's the notes and commonplace kind of stuff. And I like that this is a different, separate. So anyway, before I go off on another tangent, going deeper, for me, it's going to be difficult. I'm not even going to joke about it. It's going to be difficult. I love stationary things. And I have been wanting and wanting and wanting every month, but right before the stationary selection thing comes out, to catch it and to be able to get one. And either I have the money and I don't get there in time and they're all gone, or I actually get there but I don't have the money. Unfortunately, at the first of every month, at the very end of the month, at the first of every month, that's when a lot of our bills are due. So that's usually when I have the least amount of money. So every month, on the few months where I've had the money, they're sold out. And every time my life every time Mitz does her videos, I'm like, oh. Eventually I will be able to get one. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it this coming year, because it's my death year. I'm like, this sucks. But I have a reward coming when I do some of the things I'm going to do. And I have thought about making that my reward for one of the things. If I can accomplish, and the middle, when I get to the midpoint, if I can accomplish that, it would be wonderful. I have finished I did win NaNoWriMo. I've not finished my novel. When I finish my novel, I get a reward. When I type the end and I can print it so I can edit it, at least that first really good go round of editing, I get a reward. I don't know. A pen, stationery selection box. It won't be a big reward. So if it's a pen, I'm thinking I'm going to do like anywhere from a $20 to a $30 minimum amount to spend. And I'm really excited. So it gives me something to think about. What would if I only have this amount of money to spend, well, what do I really want to spend it on? I have been wanting, since she first came out with the stationery selection box, to get one. So I think that might be one of my rewards. Seriously. So anyway, I've gotten off topic again. And this is going to be one hellaciously long video. I am never going to be a minimalist. I'm not. I like my things. I love my books. I love my books. There's a reason why I need to move a desk out of here and move cubbies and a bookcase in. Put shelves in my closet for storage of stuff. And then, books. I have books. I love books. I've loved books since before I could even read, I loved books. It's my big passion. Books. After books, it would be writing. Notebooks, journaling, any kind of writing, all kinds of writing. I love to write. And art, but books. I could live without a lot of things, but I don't think I could live without books. That's going to be one of the hard things, but is not buying any new books except maybe as a reward. So I have quite a lot of books that I have not read. And I have a lot of my favorites that it's really time for me to reread. I have Edgar Allan Poe's complete works. I have Shakespeare's complete works. I have Hans Christian Andersen, all the fairy. I have the Grimm brothers, their complete works. I have a lot. I have the whole collection of C.S. Lewis's, the Chronicles of Narnia series. I've had that since I was a kid. I've got poetry books. I've got art books. I've got writing books. I've got fiction books. I've got spiritual books. I think this will give me a really good chance to kind of hone in on some of the things that I always feel like I don't have time for. Like I don't have time to do this, or I don't have time to do that. And I think this will give me a really good chance to do that. So for my creative life and my personal life, I'm feeling really good about what I'm going to be doing for next year. So instead of spending money on supplies that aren't necessities, like I said, I'm only beginning necessities. So it will be like refilling things, refurbishing things. I'm going to be reading books that I haven't read. And once I read the books I have not read, or read the books that I have started reading but haven't finished reading, then I can go back to some of my favorites. I pretty much have everything I need for next year. I may end up having to get a notebook or make a notebook, but I think I should be okay on the notebook front, considering that's actually a supply that would just be being refilled or refurbished. That will be okay as long as it's something because I'm running out of. Yeah, and on my other channel, I'm going to be doing a chat about how I'm going to be doing the depth year on that in the spiritual front. I will do that over there. I'm really excited. I think this is a great opportunity. I've been doing it some this year. This year was trying to go deeper instead of wider. I went wider in some areas and deeper in other areas. I have been purging and using what I have and not at the same time. But this year was more of a year about grieving and healing and finding my way through my new normal. And I feel really good about where I'm at right now. Now it's just about kind of fine-tuning some things, and I think that the depth year will really help me do that. I'm thinking 2019 might be one of my best years yet, and I'm hoping. And I will see y'all again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye, y'all.